What's going on? What's going on? Um, I'm here basically to talk about the Pacquiao Marquez fight. It was a great fight. Great fight. Um, Pacquiao. I'm still in shock. I don't know what happened. I didn't see the fight. I seen the highlights. I seen pictures. I wanted to see the fight, but sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. And that day I can't. Uh, from what I heard, it was a great fight. Both fighters went at it. Both fighters gave it all. Um, as far as the fight in general, you know, I'm a Pacquiao fan. I believe that Pacquiao, he played right into Marquez's hands, honestly. Uh, a guy like Marquez is a counterpuncher, and the worst thing you could do or want to do is be aggressive with a guy like that. A guy like that, you gotta be very careful with a guy like that because guys like that, they capitalize on mistakes. That's what they do. That's all they do. And Pacquiao made that mistake, and it costed him greatly. Very much so. Uh, you know, I read on one of my posts on Facebook. Some dude said that Marquez wiped the floor with Pacquiao. From sources that actually watched the fight, and some were Marquez, some were Pacquiao fans. They told me it was a great fight. They went at it. Marquez got knocked down, and then Pacquiao got knocked down. So I'm assuming that both fighters were giving you guys your money's worth. It wasn't no Mosley Mayweather fight. I believe in that fight, Mayweather pretty much had that on the wraps. This fight was more like you really didn't know who was gonna win. So you was pretty much at the edge of your seat, which is something you don't get too much in boxing nowadays. You don't get too many fights like that. Sometimes you can pretty much assume who's gonna win. Just like I'm assuming that a lot of people assumed that Pacquiao was gonna win that fight with Marquez. Me being one of them. Like I said, I was shocked. And like I said, I'm a fan of Pacquiao. Another thing about I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a fanboy. I'm a fan. I give respect when respect is due. That's what a fan is. A fan is basically somebody that just no matter what happens to the person that you're cheering on, you don't just like turn and back away, because that person didn't do what you expected of them. A fanboy is somebody that pretty much rides the wave. You have no loyalty, none. And if you do, you're pretty much oblivious and you're totally biased of anything or anybody's opinion. You won't even look at it. In your world, you're right. That's it. Nobody can tell you nothing. My opinion, that's what a fanboy is. In this case, Marquez, he did his thing. He capitalized, man. Great fighter. But let's face it. Everybody wanted to see the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, and I'm sure Mayweather wanted to see that fight too. Because when he was in jail and Pacquiao was fighting Bradley, and then they clearly gave that to Bradley. Bradley didn't win that. In my opinion. Mayweather was furious in jail. Like what the fuck, this, that, and third, and how can they do this, blah, blah, blah. He was really pissed. He was really pissed. And when somebody like that is mad, I mean, you already know something fishy's going on with boxing. But a lot of people say that boxing is corrupt and, you know, this, that, and the third. But, I mean, I can't really speak upon it because, you know, I don't really have too much information on that. But as far as the Pacquiao Bradley fight, you know, I feel like Pacquiao was done wrong, in my opinion. But you know, Marquez, you know, he did his thing, and you know, salute to you, man. You know, all Marquez fans, you know, salute to you. You know, a lot of people take, you know, sports or, you know, even like, you know, certain things too seriously. You know, you just, at the end of the day, you gotta understand this is entertainment. You know, and we hope that nobody gets hurt. And you know, as far as the entertainers go. But a lot of times when certain things like this happen, it kind of leaks out. People get emotional, you know, and you know, certain things get said. And I hope that you guys, you know, are aware of that. You know, don't let it get to you. You know, just, you know, it is what it is. You know, stay a fan of whoever it is that you are. If you're a Mayweather fan, stay a Mayweather fan. You know, I got nothing but respect for Mayweather. You know, he's a great boxer. You know, you know, no doubt about it. You know, but Pacquiao is more my style. He's a humble dude. You know, he looks like a cool dude. You know, I can't really say he's a great dude or nothing like that because I don't know Pacquiao. You know, I'm just a fan of Pacquiao. You know, I like the way he boxes, and I like the way he carries himself on camera. Off camera, none of us know how anybody really carries himself. But you know, as far as on camera, I'm a Pacquiao fan. We're gonna go now into UFC. Somebody made a statement that you know, UFC doesn't sell, and you know, boxing will outsell you know, UFC any day, blah blah blah. You know, yeah, that's true. Without a shadow of a doubt, boxing, you know, will outsell UFC. But UFC is a great sport. UFC is basically mixed martial arts. You know, UFC, in my opinion, is way more demanding as far as training, you know, and as far as like when you're in that octagon than boxing. You know, boxing, you know, I mean, if you throw, you know, the right jabs, you can pause, take a breath, and you know, dance around your opponent. You know, UFC, man, it's like, you know, once these guys grapple or somebody gets taken down, I mean, you know, it's pretty much like if you make a mistake, you know, you're pretty much done. You know, these guys are trying to armbar you, headlock, you know, all types of stuff, man. You know, and you're pretty much busy trying to get out of these things and trying not to get caught, and you know, trying to catch your breath because, you know, unlike boxing, you know, you can't really, you know, kind of, you know, take a step back. You can't really hug, and you know, I mean, the referee, you know, the referee can only do but so much in UFC, and I think the referee has actually more freedom in boxing than the referee in UFC. So in my opinion, UFC, you know, it's an underrated sport, and it doesn't get the recognition that it deserves. A lot of those fighters, man, they go hard. You know, I've seen a documentary of I think it was like the first 15 minutes of Brock Lesnar's workout. Man, that guy is like, when he first got into UFC, you know, after he left the WWE. Man, that guy was like jogging with a freaking log, you know, on his shoulder, like literally he was jogging, you know, with a freaking log on his shoulder. I mean, if you could tell me what boxer does that or even trains remotely close to something like that, I mean, you know, point him out, because not even Ali trained like that, you know, and Ali's like, you know, top of the line, you know, greatest of all time, in my opinion, he's the greatest of all time. Not even Tyson, you know, trained like that. And I'm a Tyson fan. You know, I like Tyson. I think he's, you know, one of the greatest. You know, even though now he doesn't really think that. But you know, I hope that one day he sees this video. You know, I mean, right now I'm nobody. You know, but I hope that one day he watches this video and he realizes that, you know, he inspired a lot of people. You know, he is one of those people that people look to, you know, when they want to know some type of clue of boxing or even the art of fighting. Because if you're a fan of fighting, then you'll be open to all styles of fighting. You know, that's really what makes a great fighter, a person that's open to all styles of fighting. You know, because, you know, look at Bruce Lee, for example. Bruce Lee, he was, you know, he's a legend. You know, anybody that goes in UFC or, you know, in the octagon, you know, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of those fighters, they take some type of inspiration from Bruce Lee. You know, I mean, if you ask them, you know, I mean, you know, who do you look up to as a fighter? I mean, I'm sure Bruce Lee, like if you know, if you throw in the name, or I'm sure one of them at least will say, hey, you know, Bruce Lee was like an inspiration to me. You know, Ali was an inspiration to me. Joe Frazier was an inspiration to me. Foreman was, you know, inspiration. I mean, you know, Jet Li, you know, he's another guy. You know, dude is amazing. Dude is so fast that, you know, sometimes he's got to slow down for the camera. You know, and I'm talking about Jet Li right now. But, you know, and, you know, I mean, there's a, you know, you can't really say that, you know, because Mayweather made a comment, you know, saying that, you know, UFC is like, I don't know, he made some dumb comment, and, you know, the president of UFC came and challenged him. I'll try and post a link. I'll try and find a link for you guys. But, you know, you know, I honestly think that Floyd will get demolished if he goes to UFC, you know, in my opinion, because, you know, these guys, you know, these guys are just not gonna fight your game in the UFC. They're gonna make you fight their game, you know. And if you're good with hands and you go to UFC and you're all about hands, these guys, you know, these guys are just gonna suplex the shit out of you, man. You're done, you know. Your career's over. You know what I mean? And I mean, these guys can go for minutes on end, like just, you know, trying to keep you in a submission or trying to break, you know, a certain part of your body. You know, this is not boxing. You know, UFC, people break limbs. You know, people go unconscious. Like, it's a regular thing. You know, UFC, sometimes you know, it'll be a nobody. You'll come out and just knock somebody out in less than 10 seconds. You don't see that too many times in boxing anymore. You know, that's like a time with like Tyson, like those times when Tyson was in the ring and he was still fighting. Yeah, you can expect stuff like that to happen. You know, Tyson come in, you pay $60 for your match. You know, 30 seconds later, after you go to the bathroom, you try to come back to, you know, to continue watching the fight. The fight is over. You're talking about, holy shit. You know, I just got out the bathroom. You know, what happened? You know, then your boy talking about, yo, Tyson knocked my man out. And then you like, what the fuck? You know, I done paid $60, you know, like, times like that, you know, but nowadays it just doesn't happen like that, you know. But in UFC, best to believe, people get knocked out on the regular. You know, UFC, in my opinion, is way more demanding than boxing. It's a totally different field, you know. I respect Mayweather, you know, but please, you know, you only know about boxing. You know, you're a great fighter. I mean, nobody can question that. I can't even question that. You know, you're a great boxer. But when it comes to UFC, that's a totally different realm. You know, you just don't, you know, it's almost like debating. You know, you don't, it's like one of the fundamental rules of debating is you don't ever talk or challenge somebody without having some type of ammunition, you know, without having some type of facts to basically back what you're saying up. Because if you don't have facts, then your debate is either questionable or just, it won't be respected as much as somebody who has actual facts and evidence. You know, it's just something that, you know, it's just a fundamental thing that happens in debates. And as far as, you know, Mayweather, you know, he just, you know, you can't really prove that UFC fighters are, you know, are pretty much a joke. You know, these guys train as hard, if not harder, than boxers, in my opinion. You know, that's just my opinion. You know, I'm just voicing it. You know, if you guys got, you know, any comments, please get back to me. You know, just leave your comments on the bottom. Subscribe to me. Look me up on Facebook.com/HoundFox or /Raymond Vasquez. You can also look, one of my friends, he also does a lot of videos talking about a lot of different subjects. Facebook.com/Pilot Raziel or Kareem Outlaw. You know, you can look him up through, with his actual name, Kareem Outlaw. Probably find him. He does a lot of blogs about hip hop and R&B. Pretty knowledgeable, you know. So you know, hit him up. I just wanted to put this out there and just get, you know, some feedback, and you know, just pretty much see if I'm right. You know, this is pretty much my opinion, basically. I believe that UFC fighters train, if harder than boxers, if not harder. That's one of my one of the questions I want to ask you guys, and I want to see if you guys agree with me or disagree with me. If you guys disagree, post it on the comments. If you guys agree with me, hit the like button, subscribe, and you know, let me know what your opinion is, because I still want to hear what you guys want to say. You know, at the end of the day, I make these videos for you guys. I want to you know, just network with as many people as possible, and just possibly do some collabs and, you know, just get some feedback. I guess till next time, see you guys soon. All right.